Okay, so who's ready for a random video on a Friday morning? So I had completely forgotten about Playdate, the little device with the crank, the little video game system that had been announced a while back. I had an interest in it. I placed an order for it back in April, and I just checked my email. It was April 21st when I ordered this. Today is September 22nd. I went out to check my mail, and lo and behold, there was a box here sitting in the mailbox, and I'm thinking, what is this? And I look at the sender, and it is Playdate and Panic Ink, and I can't believe this thing is finally here. I forgot about it, right? I mean, and it wasn't really like a cheap purchase. It was like 200 bucks, maybe a little bit more. I have to double check my receipt on that, but finally it's arrived. I can't wait to check it out. I think this is a novelty, right? Like, I was sort of on the fence about getting this, but I kind of figured I have a 12-year-old who's about to be 13 and a 9-year-old, and they'll probably enjoy this, and I'll enjoy it. I kind of like the concept of it. It's just simplified gaming. It uploads, or I guess downloads games to the console once a week once you start kind of getting it going. And I've seen different reviews of kind of what that looks like in practice. So I really want to give you more of, I guess, my impressions of the hardware, kind of the overall design, the build, that sort of thing. And of course, I will load up some of the games, or I guess the first game, whatever's available. We'll see how it goes. And then sort of go forward from that point and just kind of tell you what I think about it. So anyway, let's dig into the box. Paper, receipt, stuff wrapped in a lot of paper and bubble wrap, interestingly. Okay, so I've got two things here, one of which is the cover. So I ordered a cover for this just to try and keep it a little bit safer. And so this is kind of neat. I like that it's purple. As an ECU alumnus, I like the purple, of course. I got to go with that. And then this is the device itself. It comes in a nice little box. And if you look at the back here, we made Playdate just for fun. This little handheld system fits perfectly in a pocket. The screen is black and white. The button feels great, or the buttons plural feel great. The flip crank and the flip out crank, yes, gives games a whole new spin. But the best part, Playdate has a whole world of original gaming surprises waiting to be delivered directly to you. Let's have some fun. Let's tear into it and see what we've got here. Nothing like ripping the plastic off a new gaming adventure, a new gaming platform, and seeing what this is going to be all about. I haven't read much about Playdate lately and kind of how the game delivery is going. I know there were kind of middling reviews. Like, some games were really well received, some were not so well received, and so I assume they're still churning those out. I know they were going to do like a second wave or something like that. So let's just kind of pop the lid on this, assuming there's no plastic here. And this is it. Yeah. It is an adorable little system thing here with a charging cable that goes with it. It looks like a little USB cable to charge it. A little welcome message here, and I'm actually going to pull the system itself out because I do want to kind of hold this thing and see how it feels. And so this is it, and it is teeny tiny. So really cool though. And then you pull out the crank and you can crank things up. This is kind of awesome, and it just folds right back in, and I think it's magnetic the way it sort of clips in there. So yeah, just right off the bat, from a build quality perspective, a lot of, I would assume aluminum, I guess, but a lot of metal sort of here, metal screws kind of holding it together in the back. The crank feels good. It feels substantial. Like, it actually does have some weight to it. The screen, at least now, looks kind of clean and nice. I'm a little sad it didn't have, one of the things you could peel. Like, anytime you get a new electronic and it's got a screen, right, you want to peel off the screen piece of plastic there that's there to protect it and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, nice build quality. I do like this. I cannot get these instructions out to save my life. Look, they will not come out. Finally, they were in there. I don't know how long this has been sitting in a place that it was manufactured or whatever, but thank you so much for buying Playdate. To get started, press lock. It's on top and nothing happens. First, charge your Playdate with the USB cable. Okay, so we're going to push the button up, and it's telling me I need to charge. So I'm going to charge this. I'll come back and give you my thoughts from that point forward. Okay, well, as soon as I was about to end this video and take some time to let it charge, as soon as I plugged it in, it was good to go. It's sort of like an instant thing. I did have to unplug my video light that I typically use for a little bit better lighting so that I could plug this in, but hopefully you can still see me okay. It looks like it's recording fine and everything's good to go. So anyway, this is what you see here, kind of the typical warning information about epilepsy and seizures and all that kind of stuff, but it's saying, should I skip the intro? No, I'm not going to skip the intro. So it's very much like a Game Boy screen, which I had read about, so it's not backlit, right? So if you're playing this, you need to have decent lighting, and as it currently is, I've got a window directly in front of me. I can see it fine if I tilt it a certain way, but the screen is really crisp. Really crisp. It's telling me to push that. Okay, pushing the D-pad. D-pad feels great. This is kind of hilarious. This is really funny. I love this intro. This is kind of awesome, the way they've got this set up. You can sort of see little animations here kind of telling you what to do. So now it's saying do the crank, so I'm going to do the crank. and it's got a little screw that's turning out as I do it, and it's going around the entire screen, almost like a snake effect, if you remember that game. The speaker's pretty good for like a mono speaker is what I'm assuming this is, right on the right side of the screen or next to the screen. It sounds great. So, yeah, it's loading up the first screen here. Hello, welcome to Playdate. We're glad you're here. Let's do a little setup to get you started. Pressing A. Set your account and connect to Wi-Fi. Let me do that. Currently connecting to Wi-Fi. Registering device. Now I have to go in and enter a PIN to actually register the thing, which is hilarious that that's what you're having to do here. So let me just do that really quickly. Okay, it gives you a QR code to scan. Taking me there now. Oh my gosh, I gotta log in. Give me just a minute to do this. Okay, logged in, activating. And I think I'm good. I'm just waiting for the system itself to recognize this. So I think I'm good to go. I think. Press A after activating. Okay. A. Contacting server. So it's kind of a weird little process here, right? Kind of getting underway with everything, and it's got my account linked, and it's moving forward. And I assume part of this is you can build Playdate games. If you've researched this at all, you've seen that piece of it, so maybe this is part of that. I love when it says checking for an update. It's going to a phone modem icon here to sort of kick it old school a little bit. So it's downloading an update, so this will probably take just a moment, and we'll come back and sort of go forward from there. Okay, the update is complete. And so it's applying the system update. It's going through the motions here. There's some fireworks on the screen, if you can sort of see that here coming through relatively clearly for you. So it might take just a moment for that to happen and finish. Again, though, I just want to comment on the build quality because it does feel good. It feels good. It feels solid. It doesn't feel like it's something that would easily break. And actually, while it's doing that, I can open up the cover and kind of get that ready to have that applied, even though there's a little tab here. I really should have bought a knife or some scissors up here with me to go through this process. I didn't think ahead. That happens sometimes. Okay, so the cover is nice. It's a nice kind of leather-bound sort of thing. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's got the Playdate emblem there. Oh, my system made a noise. Now it's asking me... Yeah, the cover's nice. It's kind of leather. It's got like pins with it, metal pins, which I assume fit in the screws in the back. And it's actually even got a little cutout for the buttons and the D-pad, which is kind of cool to see. So anyway, what am I being prompted to do? Okay, so now I've got to enter the time. Again, the visibility, you definitely have to be in some kind of direct light. Like I'm looking at it now, and it's a little bit overcast here in my area. And so look, you see your first set of games, and I'm going to show you what we get here. You push the button. I think it's going to unpack that first game for us. All right, Whitewater Wipeout. This is the surfing game that I have heard about. There's actually another game here that I'm unpacking now. Casual Birder. All right, so I've got 2 games with season 1 kind of starting out. So I think the way this works, if I'm remembering correctly, I'll have to double check this, but I think every week you get a new game that it uploads. And I'm not sure how many are in a season, maybe 20 something. Again, I'll double check that. So we're going to check out one of these games and see what we think about it. All right, everybody. So this is my attempt to give you some sense of the games on this, sort of the footage that we've got here. And so obviously when you open this up with the cover, you're greeted with the time, and you can see all that, and hopefully the footage is coming through clearly. And I've got a little light going off on the top of this, so I assume that means I have a notification. All right, press lock twice. Let's try that. Okay, so now you can see my catalog a little bit more clearly, and again, you do have to hold it at just the right angle. So let's try Whitewater Wipeout. And I played this just a moment ago to kind of get a sense of how it works. I have not tried Casual Birder yet, but I'll just show you exactly what we're seeing here. This is one that does use the crank. Super cool music with it. I will say though, having played it just a little bit now, I don't really know. Crank it, bro. I don't really know what the goal is other than just to keep going, and it takes a little while. You kind of have to be gentle. See, I dumped it. You have to be gentle with the crank, and I'm trying to hold the Playdate here in frame with you, so you kind of have to be gentle with the crank and just sort of like move along with the wave. And I guess when you get in the air, you do tricks. So if I do that, yeah, oh gosh, yeah, that's not great, huh? So you can kind of see, like, this is sort of a time killer type of game, and I'm just going to see what happens once I use my last surfboard. It might just be like, oh, it's a wipeout, bro, or something like that. But I will say, once you get used to the controls, there's sort of a fluidity to it that's kind of cool. But I just don't know how much longevity there is with a game like this. Definitely a good, okay, unawesome. I got a score. Okay, so the last time I played it, I just kind of cut it off after 2 attempts and didn't get a score, but let's see. Land straight to go faster. Oh, look, I got the high score because, of course, this is the only game I've played. So, again, I think this is a game where you're just trying to beat your own high score. So I'm not sure how much longevity there is with something like this, but this is sort of what I'm seeing with it so far. And so let's try a casual burger. So you push this button, it brings up the home menu. Actually, nope, sorry. Nope, yeah, there it is. Sorry, it's right in front of me. You push the home menu, and it will take you back. And let's see what's all about casual burger here. Snap yes. And check out some birds casually. I can't wait. All right. Can I just walk, I wonder? Okay, perfect. I do not know a single thing about bird photography. Yep. Okay, so I gotta use the crank to focus. Okay, so I see the okay, so let's see. The camera is, you push it with A. Trying to focus. So is it that it's focused on me? Do I have to move the thing? Oh, here we go. You move it around. Let's see if we can focus a little bit more on the bird. Let's see. Blurry black something. Maybe it wasn't focused enough. How about that? There we go. You got a new bird, a black-bodied bobby. Gosh, I need some reading glasses on. I can't even read this. These cuties hang around and fly into houses. They're not even from Birdtown, to be honest. They can be a nuisance, but IDK, I don't know. They're still birds. Maybe I like them anyway. Okay, cool. I wonder what happens now, because I got a picture here. Do I have to go in here? I did. I've got the picture. What are you doing, dude? Oh, okay. I gotta go over here and talk to this guy. Yep, let's have a look. Whoa, you got him. Nice work, boy. All right, anyway, this is just a taste of casual burger. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. This feels more like a substantial game than Whitewater Wipeout or whatever it was, the surfing game. So I think I'll get a little more enjoyment out of this one. And this is one that I can see my youngest son, Henry, actually really enjoying a lot. He loves these little kind of top-down, and I wouldn't say it's an RPG, but almost like a Pokemon Snap type of thing. So anyway, this is a preview of what you get when you get the first two games with your Playdate. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can expect with Playdate. So I love the form factor, I love the color of the cover, and I love the build of it. I think it's a great little console. I will say, though, with the first two games here, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot to jump in with at the start. I mean, Whitewater Wipeout, as I mentioned earlier, I think is a good time killer type of game. I'm actually going to take this with me. I'm going to pick up my youngest son from school. He's in the 4th grade here in just a little bit, and just hand it to him in the car and just see what he does with it, see what he thinks about it, and what kind of his thoughts are on that. I think Casual Birder's got a little more substance there, and that's one that he might get a little more sort of longevity out of, and I might play it a little bit more. But I'm curious to see each week what these games look like. And again, you can already go online and see what the full slate of games are. The one thing I need to check out, too, are user-created games, because you can download those from the Playdate website where people have uploaded them, put them on your system, and check those out. And apparently there are a lot of really creative, really great ones to look at there. So I'm definitely going to go to that and kind of mess around with some of those too. So my plan moving forward in terms of videos for this is I'm going to get through the full first season and then come back with kind of my final thoughts there. Because I think, you know, it's hard to get a full sense of how this is going to be as a system until you have all of the sort of official games. And then kind of tinkering with the user-created stuff will be helpful too. But in terms of form factor and build quality, I love it. I just don't think there's a whole lot here right out of the box to love, you know, necessarily in terms of the games that are available. So good time waster here and there potentially, but let's be honest, I'm going to get back to Starfield. And when I finish the main quest of that, I am going to bring you a review. Obviously, it's going to be much delayed because it's taking me a while to get through it, just with work, childcare stuff going on, just everything that's happening around me in my life. It's just taking me a long time to get through it. But I got to say, I love Starfield so far. I don't know if it's my game of the year. Tears of the Kingdom is still kind of at the top of that list, but it's close. It's a really great game. I think it was actually a little bit underrated by some people, you know, in the sort of the review circuit that it went through, but that's a whole other video to kind of get into. But anyway, if you have a Playdate, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching.